Alright, chill video here today. I'm just going to rank the Terrifier movies that I've watched because there are 3 in the main series. The 3rd movie just came out, and then you have All Hallows Eve. So that's what I've seen. For some reason, I feel like there's another movie with Art the Clown in it, but he might not be named Art the Clown. Doesn't matter. Starting with All Hallows Eve, this is all spoiler-free. I really like horror anthologies. That's a personal preference. I don't like it in books. For whatever reason, book anthologies, not for me. But movie anthologies with that underlying narrative that's connecting 3 separate stories, I love it. So I was primed to like this kind of movie. Now, we have a VHS tape that was slipped into a child's trick-or-treat bag. The babysitter confiscates it, is just like, let me watch this, because who knows what they gave you. And then she watches the first short story, sadly, with the kids in the room. And it's just like, no, you're not. Confiscate it. Parents can look at this. If they say you can have it, sure, but no, go to bed. And then you get 3 short story movies, with the babysitter watching it and getting progressively more freaked out, and how the TV becomes involved, and little moments, interactions that I absolutely adored. It's very short, it's very quick, gets in, gets out, tells a creepy story, leaves you with an unsettling feeling. We see that Art the Clown is willing to go there to the extreme from his very conception. And while I am taking a little bit of disappointment that Art the Clown is not the same character we get in the main franchise, he doesn't have his full personality. He's not really the mime Charlie Chaplin funny faces. He has a strong personality in the main series, which is why I love him. That is not quite fleshed out there, used to its full extent in All Hallows Eve. Also, I did not like the second short. Besides the point, I'm still going to give this 3rd place because I did really enjoy it. But to save the surprise for what's going up in order, we'll go back down to 4th place, which is going to be a very unpopular opinion, and I'm sorry about that. But Terrifier 2. I did not like this movie. It was an extreme letdown from the first movie, in my opinion. It was so over the top, but I think my issue is it was too long. This movie was like 30 minutes, probably 45 minutes, honestly. Too long. I appreciated ideas and concepts in this movie. I like how they were willing to go over the top, even if I have high doubts on those scissors could have done that particular scene. I do not believe you could do that with scissors. But the idea of Art the Clown being this personification of pure evil, violence, gore, havoc, mayhem, so then you have to have this light, this goodness to contradict it. I love that. This movie was lore dump. It had so much story and mythology to it, or it was trying to at least. I'm not 100% sure it succeeded, but it set up so many questions and was trying to flesh out between Art and the main protagonist. But it didn't feel like it ever answered any of the questions it was setting up. There was a lot of, hey, these 2 characters are connected. Spend 2 hours in this horror movie that is just brutality over brutality over brutality. That's not a complaint, by the way. Special effects, I mean, you're never going to hear me complain about that. But also, it was so over the top and so dragged out. I'm just like, can we get to the next scene? Can you answer that question, please? Yeah, okay, you're killing that person. Are you done? We've been in this scene a long time. The pacing just dragged for me, okay? I was bored for the majority of it. But the ideas were really good. I like the concept. I like the ideas. I like that we were getting more lore and story. It just didn't hit right with this particular story. So, 4th place for me. But in 2nd place, we have Terrifier 3, the movie that just came out. And this is what I wanted from Terrifier 2. I really liked the execution in this movie. The pacing was better. It was still long, but the scenes did not drag the way the second movie did. And the gore, over the top as hell, but practical effects, okay? I'm not going to be angry about that. But it also was so over the top, it circled back around to comedic, and because it wasn't like hyper-realistic gore, at no point was I personally like disturbed, and you know what? I didn't need to see this movie with hyper-realistic gore. What the effects that we got were what we needed for this movie, because by God, if this was hyper-realistic, that would not be good. There was a lot of talk as this movie was to be released with violence involving kids, nothing gratuitous, nothing shown. We're not seeing kids be tortured. That's not to say that violence is not enacted upon them. But I think this movie is a perfect execution of what the series wanted to become. the lore is explained. We have the connection between Sienna, the protagonist from the last movie, and Art the Clown. We have the trauma of the second movie coming into play in the third. Seriously, the choice to focus on Sienna and her pain, her grief, the survivor's guilt, the PTSD, the anguish that is involved in surviving a horror movie and then wanting to protect one's loved ones, fearing that this will all happen again. It was a very good choice for her character, for the movie, for the themes, for everything. We have a character who's a true crime junkie to an extreme level, and we hate her. Questions are answered. There are payoffs. We're left with a cliffhanger. I'm excited for the next movie, and we're still left with lingering questions of what is to come. So no, Terrifier 3 lives up to its reputation. Completely over-the-top violence, but my favorite is going to be Terrifier 1, okay? I like the idea of just a short, because what, 80 minutes? Short story. Two girls find themselves in a terrible situation. I think they were on their way back from a party and just accidentally encounter this violent serial killer clown. The violence is, you know what, it might be a bit gratuitous, but it's not so over the top throughout the entire movie that you become numb to it by the end. The end is when you get that insane act of violence, and it feels shocking because the violence leading up to it you thought was bad, but then you have this over-the-top moment. Whereas the next two movies, it's so over-the-top all the time that you get like a big violent kill, and you're like, yeah, but it wasn't that much more gratuitous than the previous kills that I just seen. The one in Terrifier 1 will be shocking because it is the shocking moment of that movie, and I appreciate that. And again, practical effects, love it. There's a twist that I should have seen coming. I don't know how past Jessica was so idiotic that she didn't see it coming. And also, so many moments in that first movie was still become important in the next series, next couple movies going forward. So no, Terrifier 1, easily my favorite, but I will admit that Terrifier 3 is very, very close to it. Like, I could almost switch those two movies, but it's just the pacing of Terrifier 2 that I really is the only one I hate. Hate's a strong word. I don't hate it. I was disappointed. The pacing lagged. I was bored. All right, so while not my favorite horror movie series, I think that still belongs to Saw. Unless we count The Thing as a series, but I deny the prequel exists, so probably not. I still really enjoyed the Terrifier movie series. It has a strong personality. It knows what it wants to be. It's not trying to be anything else. It still has good characters and lore to it. So no, I was very, very happy with this most recent entry to the franchise. All right, that's all I got. Talk to you later. Bye.